Let me tell you something that you need to know. You are doing what they thought they would do. You are fulfilling things that they never believe you will be able to do. And that is why they are gathering against you. That is why they are secretly hating you but publicly smiling with you. Let me tell you, many people are shocked. They are shocked about the position you are occupying financially, academically, in your working place, in your environment, in your community, in the society, in the neighborhood. Majority of people never believe that you will be the one that will be where you are right now. That is why you have people who gathered against you, even for no cost, even for no offense, even when you have never hurt them, you have never did them wrong, you have never even one day seek to plot anything against them or try to make a haste to destroy or do them harm. But they suddenly start to gang up against you. So let me tell you choosing one thing you need to know. It is because of your growth, your sources, your strength, your increase. Because I made a video that was day before yesterday saying that the more successful you become, the more enemy you will always be ready for. Because let me tell you, nobody is going to fight an empty can. Nobody is going to fight a bull. Nobody will be bothering to go to a bush or a place where there is no meat or animals to hunt. So the reason why people are teaming, speaking evil against you, gathering one thing to another for your own sake, plotting and saying all kinds of stuff against you, and you have never did them wrong, you know that you have never speak or hurt them in any midst, you know that your hands are pure, or they are your friend, they are your brother, your sisters, and they suddenly start to become an enemy overnight. The truth is that there is somewhere you have stepped, there is a boundary you have crossed, there is a level you have stepped that you ought not to step in their own eyes, in their own point of view. When people start to fight you, when it comes to a point where your brothers whom you have been eating with, where your siblings whom you have been doing things with, they suddenly become an enemy. That means they have a limitation when it comes to you. They have a limit. They know that this is a limit. This is something that where you ought not to cross. And now you have crossed it. So you crossing that boundary is a sign of progress towards you. It's a sign of, overcoming either the generational cause or the generational word setting. So you breaking that record is something that interfered them. Is something that is driving them crazy. Let me tell you, let me explain more. The moment people whom you have been doing stuff with, either in your school, in your group, in any organization, in your own family, and they suddenly start to misbehave or do the way they never had before, it means you have stepped where they themselves never believe you will be able to get to. It simply means you have now upgraded to a point where they are now becoming so sure whom you are becoming. It simply means there is a place where they believe that people like you ought to reach. Someone like you ought to reach. People like you ought to do reach. So you that decide right now, you have put in your work, you have progressed, you are now trying all your best, and now God is elevating you. It is indeed unbelievable. It is indeed a trouble. Because let me tell you, it's a blessing to you, but it's a what is a it is a disaster. It's a frustration. It's an embarrassment to them. Why do you ought to be progressive? Why do you ought to succeed? Why do you ought to elevate? Why do you ought to do better? Why everything about you ought to be great? So let me tell you, chosen ones, you have never hurt them but your sources. You have never hurt them, but where you step have hurt them. You have never in your lifetime plot evil against them or seek to destroy them, but where God have placed you is the what is the punishment that they are going through. Because let me tell you, chosen ones, some people are going through pain. The moment God start to elevate you, some people will start to go through pain. Some people will start to face through obstacles. Some people will start to face through trials the moment God start to elevate you. So there are some people who are now suffering. All is because of your blessing. There are some people who are really right now suffering much because of where God have allowed you to enter, because of the place where God have now